From Storm Team 4, this is a severe weather alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Storm Team 4's Dave Price. A live picture right now as we're taking a look at heavy rains and high winds beginning to push across the Hudson. This is a look right now as those potentially severe storms begin to make their way over Manhattan. They will sit over the area over the next hour or so. We're tracking it live with you. A severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Bergen, Hudson, in through Manhattan, out to Queens as this line of thunderstorms begins to push through right on track. We want to keep in mind the possibility, however unlikely, of a tornado spawning as a result of these high winds and this weather beginning to push on through. We're watching it very carefully, but again, it is a possibility along with those thunderstorm warnings for the area. This is a look as we push just to the north right now and begin to time out where this storm is heading over the next few minutes. At 2:40, it will roll over LaGuardia Airport in through Kings Point at just about 2:50, JFK at 2:55, in through Hempstead at 3:06 this afternoon, onward through Hicksville at 3:11 and Levittown at 3:14, Great Neck at 2:51. That just gives you an idea of the path and the timing of these storms. They will have, along with them, thunder, lightning, heavy rains, and high winds, which could be blowing upwards of 60 miles per hour or more. This is a look at the path as we head up to Westchester County and along the north shore of Long Island. You can see heavy rains right now pushing. We have a tornado warning right now, which has been posted, a tornado warning which has been posted in this area. We're going to begin to expand on it right now. We'll zoom in and let you know. Tornado warning right now for the Bronx, Nassau, in through Manhattan and Westchester County. That means you need to identify a place and take cover, keeping in mind that this storm could roll through with dangerous winds and tornado conditions within the next few minutes. That is in effect until 3 p.m. this afternoon. Have a plan to take cover, go to the lowest point in your house. A tornado warning once again in effect, and we will continue to watch that. We are isolating an area right now as we continue to zoom on into the map and take a look at the Williamsbridge section of the Bronx. We take a look and continue to push on through right now, and the area we're most concerned about stretches from north of Mount Vernon back through Williamsbridge all the way over as we roll into Pelham Harbor along the 95 corridor as you make your way out through the Bronx. This is the area which, again, until 3 o'clock this afternoon, 25 minutes from now, we're going to be watching very carefully. Now, the path of this particularly strong cell, this line of storms, takes us through Pelham just about right now, in through Larchmont in Westchester County at 2:41, into Manor Haven at a quarter before the hour of 3 o'clock, Port Washington at 2:46, in through Glen Cove at 2:52, and potentially forward into Glen Head and Old Brookville. That's the path of this storm, with winds which could exceed 60 miles per hour, heavy rains, hail. We're not expecting the hail to be damaging, but you could see strong hail begin to push on through. Once again, a tornado warning in effect for areas including the Bronx, Manhattan, and sections of the immediate metropolitan area. This is a look at the radar network right now. Let's path this area out into Manor Haven at 2:47. I'm going to look down. That's just about 9 minutes from now. Baxter Estates at just about 11 minutes before the hour. Now work with us here as we continue to get you the very latest radar and path information into Glen Cove at 2:54 and Glen Head at 2:55. A reminder to all of those watching right now that tornado warning affects Bronx, Nassau, into Manhattan and Westchester County. A strong line of storms and a pattern which could set up for tornadic activity. If you live in any of those areas, now is the time to identify a safe area within your home, typically the lowest area you can go to in an interior section of the structure you're in. Do not go outside. Do not go outside. This is what the area of concern is right now. We expected that we could see severe weather through the afternoon, this is that second line that we saw just about 25 minutes ago here in Manhattan. I was looking at relatively clear skies and sunshine. Now, of course, as we took a look at the live picture moments ago, we're watching a particularly strong cell begin to move through as we take a look at Cardinal Spellman High School into the Pelham Bay and Split Rock Golf Course, on through Orchard Beach into Glen Island. That's where the strongest winds, the heaviest rain, and the potential for tornado is greatest at this hour. We're talking about City Island as well. Let's path this all out into Sands Point at 246, Port Washington North at 248, Glen Head at 255, into Old Brookville at just about 256, and just at 3 o'clock into Brookville. If you live in or are in any of the surrounding areas, it is time to take cover, identify an area in your house which is in an interior section, and seek that lowest point. At the same time, we also have severe thunderstorm warnings stretching back into Bergen, Hudson, over Manhattan, and into Queens. That's that line which we're watching advance over in the yellows and reds, but the tornado warning is in effect until 3 o'clock for areas including Manhattan and into Westchester and to the east. This line of strong storms rolling over LaGuardia at 239, into Great Neck at 250, in and around the area surrounding JFK at just about 258, into Hempstead at 308, Levittown at 316, into Massapequa Park just at 325 or so. Again, these are all rough approximates, but keep in mind, you need to be weather aware at this point as this anticipated strong line of thunderstorms continues to advance. We now look to the south, and for those of our friends who are in and around the Jersey Shore and back west, these will roll into Marlborough at 241, Jackson at 245, in through Middletown at 248, Howell at 252. We're being very specific in going down each location so you can hear it. 256 into Lakewood, into Ocean at 304, Toms River at 305, into Point Pleasant and areas around there, from Bayhead to Mantoloking, right around 310, and Seaside Heights at 316. These are particularly strong storms with winds gusting up and over 60 miles per hour. A live look at the picture we showed you when we first interrupted the broadcast. If you look to the area to the left of your screen right now, that is the southern tip of Manhattan. To the right of your screen is the Hudson River. Heavy rains falling throughout the area at this point, and winds beginning to kick on up too. We're talking about severe thunderstorm warnings to the west and a tornado warning right now in effect in New York City through the Bronx, Nassau, into Manhattan, up through Westchester County. The arrows give you the indication of where the parameters of that warning are. The radar network showing, again, where our biggest area of concern is. We take a look at that 95 corridor up through New Rock City and through New Rochelle, pushing back to the south into sections of the Bronx towards City Island, and those strong storms rolling into the North Shore of Long Island, through Manor Haven, in through Glen Cove, and up into Westchester County towards and through Mamaroneck, into Glen Head at 253, Old Brookville at 255, into areas including Mannacock at 256. Now, these storms will have embedded in them high winds upwards of 60 miles per hour and the potential for tornadoes. Again, just to remind you, if you are in one of these areas covered in this tornado warning, you need to identify an area and seek shelter in an interior section of your house, simply to be on the safe side. The areas affected include the borough of the Bronx, all of Manhattan, in through Westchester County, and the strong line of storms is pushing east. Even in the area not affected by the tornado warning, keep in mind to the south and to the Into the south and the west, we are talking about the possibility of severe thunder showers. Let's begin right at the top. For those of you who are joining us, we have a tornado warning in effect for parts of the area. This is Storm Tracker 4's live look, giving us a real-time indication at what's coming down and where all of this is heading. As anticipated, this line of strong thunderstorm activity beginning to roll through as we take a look at areas from Manhattan all the way up the Hudson River corridor to the east right now, pushing through sections of Westchester into coastal Connecticut. We are looking at a live picture now from Coney Island. As you take a look, I don't know if that was able to be picked up on microphone, but yeah, that was thunder right outside my home here in Manhattan. Thunder and lightning part of the program as we head through the afternoon. Coney Island in the background. That's a live look. Forgive me one moment. I'm just going to take a drink of water. Coney Island in the background. Heavy rains continue to roll through that area. The tornado warning, once again, for all of Westchester County, in through Manhattan, Nassau County, the Bronx, with these high winds, with the potential for tornadoes, with thunder and lightning, the possibility of power outages and trees down is certainly in the realm of a reasonable thought. You need to make sure that if you are planning on being outside for any reason, you cancel those plans. Call people who may be outside at this point and tell them to return home. Being in the elements is not the place to be right now. Not in the Bronx, not in Manhattan, not in any of the areas where these strong storms are rolling through. This is the radar network, which gives us an indication. Look at the red right now. That's our area of greatest concern at this point, and within that circle, that's what we're watching most carefully for the wind patterns there that may indicate a tornado. So we're keeping an eye very carefully on the risk as you roll through Kings Point, into Glen Cove, into the north shore of Long Island, and into sections of Westchester County, eventually pushing into coastal Connecticut. Let's time this out and map this out and look at the path of potentially the most severe weather into Glen Cove at 2:52. It's 2:44 right now. That's 8 minutes from now. Into Lattingtown at 2:55. Into Matticock at 2:57. Bayville at 2:58. 3:01 in Oyster Bay and 3:03 in Oyster Bay Cove. We could see winds upwards of 60 miles per hour or greater than that connected with this storm. Now, of course, the biggest story is the tornado warning in effect, but keep in mind to the south and west, rolling through sections of interior New Jersey and towards the shoreline right now, you are looking at the potential for violent thunderstorms pushing into your area. They're identified there in the purples and the reds. We've seen reports of small hail rolling through that area. This is a live look right now at those dark clouds which are pushing over Coney Island at this point, in through Brooklyn, pushing through sections of Staten Island, out towards the east and toward the northeast as well. Pretty much the entire viewing area is going to see heavy rains, thunder, lightning, and high winds, but there are selected areas where the concern is the greatest. Again, until 3 o'clock this afternoon, that's 15 minutes from now, our careful eye on the Bronx, Nassau County, Long Island, in through Manhattan, up through Westchester County. Look where the arrow is. As we are looking at a tornado warning in effect, we anticipated that might be a result of these strong storms rolling through. Now that warning, again, indicates that threat is potentially imminent. So find a place, I'm sorry, once again, Mike, if you could, forward. Yep, we are looking at strong rotation right now, out over the water right now, out through Long Island Sound, pushing toward the east at this point. That's where the strongest area of rotation is. I apologize for that delay. I'm hearing also from our producers in the Weather Center as they take a look at data as well. The radar network indicates that threat will continue at least until 3 o'clock. That's when the tornado warning is in effect for the Bronx, Manhattan, and sections in and around the metropolitan area. If you are outside for any reason or know someone outside, come inside, find an area to shelter in an interior section of the home. Let's look at the radar network and time all of this out with the latest numbers as we take a look at Laddingtown at 253, Bayville at 257, in through the Oyster Bay area just about 3 o'clock, and into Laurel Hollow at 3:05. That's where we're looking at that strongest area of rotation and its path over the next, let's say, 15 minutes or so. This is a live look right now at the data we're receiving, and you can watch it as this system continues to advance, as that strong line of storms pushes in and through the area. That's what's happening in the city to the north and to the east and to the south and to the west. We're taking a look at a continuation of that line of thunderstorms and a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for pretty much the entire shore area and back inland, stretching all the way from Trenton to Edison and over to Belmar, Point Pleasant, Toms River, and shore points up and down the New Jersey coastline. We'll widen out the picture right now. We are going to be in this kind of severe weather mode at least over the next hour in the city. Another severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, we want to bring you now for Burlington, Mercer, Monmouth, and Ocean counties, including Edison and Toms River and Woodbridge. Watch the arrows right now. Watch the live sweep of the radar, and that lets us get a real-time indication of the pathing of this storm. If you're in Colts Neck, 248, that's when you need to be aware that it will be over you. Into Lakewood at 253. Red Bank, New Jersey at 254. In and around Eatontown at 258 or so. In through Brick, New Jersey at 303. As you travel towards Ocean, 303 as well, and 307 at Point Pleasant. Up and down the eastern seaboard of the coastline of New Jersey, you're going to want to take particular precaution for a strong line of thunder. More lightning rolling over Manhattan right now, and the clouds thickening up. As we take a live look at Coney Island, the live picture indicates what the radar does, and that is heavy rains and winds which are beginning to pick up. I'm taking a look. I think we're going to load up a look at Rockland and Westchester right now. I'm not sure if a picture of coming up right now. That's a look from Jersey City at this point as we take a look at the heavy rains roll through the southern tip of Manhattan as well. And as you can see, it's a relatively uniform picture no matter where you go, but there are pockets of particular concern. That tornado warning in effect for New York as we head into the 3 o'clock hour. Right now, so far, 11 minutes left to that tornado warning in effect for the Bronx, into Nassau County on Long Island, over Manhattan, into Westchester, affecting Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, into Yonkers, up and down the city from all the way up in Harlem, all the way into the Bronx, back through sections of the southern tip of Manhattan. And this is where the area of, again, greatest concern is for the winds, the area of rotation now over the water, but continuing to work. If you take a look at the dark red and the light red towards sections of Long Island into Bayville at 257, we're going to continue now to bring up some different maps, so bear with us as we work to bring you the very latest information. Heavy rains continue to roll through the area. Again, the threat of tornadoes exists for much of the area from the city to the east and to the north. This is what you need to know with respect to the tornado risk within the next 15 minutes. If you are in that tornado warning area, get to the lowest floor of your home, move away from windows and doors, and shelter in an interior section of your home, the center of your home. If you happen to be in a mobile home, evacuate that area and seek more secure shelter. Do not, if you're outside or know someone who's outside or on the phone with someone who may be traveling, do not shelter under an overpass. Again, debris and winds, both hazards when you think of tornadoes. This is a live look. It's clearly identifiable where the strongest cells are right now. That tornado warning for Nassau affecting Glen Cove, Glen Head into Seacliff. We're watching it right now as that area of rotation continues to push to the east. and just begins to clip that north shore of Long Island. Watch in Bayville right now as those winds are going to continue to climb, and we're expecting gusts 60 miles per hour or more as we continue to track these storms. Let's go a little bit closer right now if we can and take a look at the areas from Glen Cove to Laddingtown. I'm going to ask if we can take this full screen if we haven't already so I can get a better look at the maps myself. In through Laddingtown Road right now, and in through and approaching Bayville, into Mill Neck. If you are anywhere near Piping Rock Road, this is the advantage of this kind of mapping system. We're able to identify almost to the block where the biggest concern is. We're taking a look at Walnut Road as well. If you're in any of these areas, take shelter right now. A tornado warning is in effect, which covers this section of Nassau County, and that is in effect until 3 p.m. today. The wider picture right now shows the biggest areas of concern. We have storm reports now beginning to come on in from the south and west as the storm system approaches, and now beginning to see some storm reports as we head to Kingsland. A tree down on a house. That's in Bergen County. In Bergen County, a tree down on a house. As you may hear the thunder continue to clap in and around Manhattan at least, and clearly that is a sound which is prevalent around the region right now. So a tree down on a house in Kingsland. This is a concern, along with power outages throughout the area. That report came in at 2:20. As we take a look at a wider picture right now, back through Montclair and back through Chestnut Hill, as we look to the far west, that's light to moderate rain. The biggest areas concerned right now, look at Middletown as we take a look to the southwest of the city, look at New York City, and back towards and heading into interior sections of central Jersey and pushing towards the shoreline. This line of very strong storms is going to push into Red Bank at 2:55. That's just about a minute from now. In through Eatontown at 2:56. West Long Branch at 2:59. Long Branch, you're going to see it at 3:02. In through Point Pleasant and up through Mantaloking and Bayhead, in through and about 3:03. Belmar at 3:05. These are shore communities. These are going to push through and over you within the next hour. High winds, heavy rains, and as you can tell, I don't know, I'm going to speak to our weather center if we can put up lightning strikes within the last half hour or so at some point. You can see lightning now and thunder extremely prevalent as part of this storm system, along with winds that are gusting upwards of 60 miles per hour. Biggest area, again, is that area of rotation we saw pushing over Long Island Sound. Now we're zooming on in. Let's go even closer now. This is the north shore of Long Island. We still have that tornado warning in effect for Nassau for at least the next 5 minutes. That's the official posting. But taking a look right now at Old Tappan Road, Skunks Misery Road, as we take a look at Buckram Road, Bayville Road, and in through Perry Avenue, that strong area of rotation is going to begin to push on in. Take cover, move to an interior section of your house. This is not the time to go to the window and say, look here. Windows can get blown out, shattering glass, debris, all potential dangers when you have a system like this. Radar Network now lets us advance this storm into Mill Neck, and that will be literally right now. It's 2:55. The next 4 minutes, again, it continues to push to the east. Oyster Bay, Bayville, in through Eaton's Neck as we head through the next 25 to 30 minutes or so. Excuse me, I'm going to just take a sip of water here. A severe thunderstorm warning also in effect for Fairfield, back through Westchester County. If you are in Greenwich, through Stamford, into Norwalk, into Westport, into Weston, into areas to the east, including Fairfield, here's what you need to know. In through Wilton right now, that's 2:56. In through Norwalk at 3 o'clock. Pushing through Shorehaven at 3:02. Into Westport just shortly after that. Look at that line. It's those reds and those purples that we're most concerned about. And now we give you a view of not only the Connecticut coastline, but through Long Island as well, as this storm system continues to push through sections of Nassau County, in through Great Neck and Great Neck Estates, back through Queens, in through Brooklyn. This is, again, giving you a live look at our area of concern as this system advances now. Hempstead at 3:05, in through Huntington at 3:09, Plainview at 3:13, Comac at 3:24. The storm will roll into Smithtown with high winds and heavy rains at 3:30, Babylon at 3:32, in through Islip at 3:41, Holbrook at 3:47, and Coram at 3:49. Almost like an LIRR train with stops along the way. That's what we're looking at as this storm system continues to advance in through Nassau County and towards Suffolk. It is appearing to keep its intensity as it continues to march to the east, so we'll watch that. Now let's go back down to Jersey for a second and watch the area from Middletown through Ocean, back to the west into Lakewood and towards Toms River. That's all beginning to advance toward the shoreline right now. Let's zoom in if we can and take a closer look as we head on up and head towards Middletown and Ocean, up through Long Branch and Seabright. That's where you're going to feel the effects, the strongest effects of this storm. Next, Red Bank, you're feeling it right now. You may even see small hail begin to push through the area. Tinton Falls, back through Everett, up through Middletown. Those areas beginning to see heavy rain right now. This is a look at the lightning tracker, a live look at the areas where we're seeing most of the lightning. This is within, I'm going to ask the Weather Center, correct me, is this within the last half hour, 108 strikes? I believe that's in the last half hour. 108 strikes. It's a live look. Now 109 strikes. So as that ticks up, we'll continue to let you know how that advances. Now 112 strikes as all of that begins to march to the east. Keeping in mind right now, 2:58, 2 more minutes to the tornado warning. We are waiting guidance from the National Weather Service if that will be extended or if that will be canceled or if those locations will change. But you can see, regardless of the results of the tornado warning, severe thunderstorms continue to belt the area, pushing back through Brooklyn right now, in through Staten Island and down through sections of the Jersey shoreline. Let's zoom in just a little bit there, try and get to street level. So Bergen, Hudson, in through Manhattan and Queens for that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the next minute or so, but we'll see what happens if that's extended. Pushing through Woodmere into Valley Stream, South Ozone Park, into Canarsie, back through sections of Brooklyn. You're seeing heavy rains right now. Now we have that severe thunderstorm warning. That will be in effect until 3:45.